Hello, welcome to Inner Fetish. I am your host, Zeos Pantera, the host of also Z Reviews and Z Cooks. And don't forget to check out my Patreon and Subscribe Star. And 7th Acoustic. That's specific. That's not acoustics. Not 7th Acoustics. 7th Acoustic 1. So here is their Supernova, which again, this is the problem. Anybody see the problem with printing like that? I could read it. Even that, in perfect lighting, I could read it. But just no. This is a 6BA. That's $850, which is a lot. And the owner who loaned me these also just sent me this wire, which is going to apparently be the new stock cable from Versus Audio. And it's very blue. I don't know if I like this weave, though. This weave is kind of weird. Because it's a... Is it a 4-wire? But it's like, I don't know, it's got like one loop out. It is a permanent 4.4. Let's look at the IEMs themselves, because I can't find this color on the website. They have their logo there. They have the 7 logo there. They're very pretty on the outside. They get really bulgy and fat for a 6BA. And then they have Supernova and the model number or the serial number on there. And you can see I'm using render tips. Now, I usually start off with the Duno SS tips, which are like my neutral fit every time. It's all about fit and the materials. So it's fit and silicone, boom, Duno SS tips. And I'm listening to these, and they're $850, and people love them. And, it's going through music and music and music and music. See the colors? And I'm like, these are kind of boring. These are kind of boring. And I'm like, well, all right, I'm on the Alpha Pro, which is actually pretty warm. I'm going to move on to this, and then I could move it to the Tube Preed fucking Valencia, or I have that thing going from that new A-Post to Shelly Labs collab DAC. And then I swap out to the Render Tips announcement. Render Pro is coming. The factory that was making the Render Tips has its leases up, or whatever the hell the problem is, and we have to move to a different manufacturing facility. So the renders are going to be remanufactured at a different place, and they're not going to be like this anymore. So if you love the current renders, good fucking luck, because I have only a handful of them here, and I'm kind of sad. But the new ones will be a wide bore. So look forward to the Render Pros, which will be foam in silicone with wide bore and 4th size, which I believe we want to get something between these two, right? Because that's large and that's medium. And I'm like, can we make it purple? Can we make the medium large purple? So we'll see how long that's going to take. God knows. See you in 2026. Anyway, back to these IEMs. Put them in my ears. And I have hooked up Defiant, which is my $100 IEM collab, because it's like a glass of water. It doesn't have a lot of exaggeratory anything. I tuned it to be like an example of what a good high-end IEM sounds like. So as I'm playing this, I want to just swap, boom, to that. Because honestly, being bored, not that the Defiant are boring, but they're definitely less of like that holy shit, crimson red fucking murder bass. Like, I'm listening to this, and it's opera. It's literally like, da-da-da-da-da. It's full opera, and it sounds fine. If I was wearing a $200 IEM, it'd be fine. But I haven't had anything in any of my playlist tracks on either amplifier, on both tips, literally say, hey, fuck you, bud, look into these $800 IEMs. It just isn't happening. The magic is like, and I opened up 2 pages because I had to see the price and where the hell's their sale. And the page I opened up at headphones.com is actually just a review. And I don't try to read reviews before I'm doing like my own review, because I don't want to get it in my head. But I read Smooth Criminal, and that put it in my head that it's going to be smooth, and it technically is. But it's like, there's a difference between smooth and enjoyable and smooth and just data. Like listening to how well a floppy disk drive can just listen to it. It doesn't even sound like it's clicking. That's so smooth. It's still a fucking floppy drive. There's nothing good on there. Name a good thing that ever came off a floppy disk. There's your mission in the comments. I think the best these sounded, there was like one particular like techno song that had like a ba-doom, 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 and the bass notes carried really well. They sounded big. But like this song right here. This is the Marantz Super Audio CD track 1. I don't know. You're not going to know what that is. I want to listen to it first. Hold on. I don't have my standard tips on this. Okay. I'm getting a flavor. Hold on. This is with Defiant. You won't let me in. Okay. I just got. Oh, it was good. I felt good. I'm backing this up. I'm just gonna put this fucking shove them back in your ear holes. Doing this live. So she sounds further away, which is good. That's a good thing. She's very soft. Her voice sounds softer than Defiant. You penny sign now. This is. But there's no excitement in the tonality. Yeah, I think we're actually past the point where I backed it up. Where something like happened, and I was like, ooh. This doesn't ooh me. These don't ooh me. Where's the ooh? I need ooh. Let us go get stoned. Here we go. Like, when there's a thing I've never heard of and I don't care, like, people are always like, see, this is something about this channel, but a bias. I don't want to know. All right? I don't want to know when a new IEM is announced, and I don't want to know when they've changed something or when someone spent their whole life tuning this for this specific perfect. I don't fucking care. Give me box, open box, put IEMs in, preferably on my tips, preferably on my wire, honestly, wanting higher end than that. But just so I don't have any... The ultimate review channel for IEMs would be me locked in a room, don't get kinky with it, complete darkness, and all I am done is handed a set of IEMs through a little hole, and it's always on the same cable, and it always has my preferred tips, and I always have the same source. And then I just sit there listening for like a week straight in the dark. Obviously pooping into a little bucket and throwing it out the hole. But maybe I befriend someone through a crack, and maybe it turns out that person has been dead for years. Great storylines here. But that would be the way to test an IEM. I don't know the price. I don't know the brand. I don't even know what the fucking's made out of. You're just handing me a thing in the dark. It's got a wire that I can't tell the difference from my wire. All I can tell is maybe the shape. I don't want to see how nice it looks. I want to know nothing. No Nothing reviews have been a great title for fucking In-Ear Fetish. But no. We're In-Ear Fetish because titties. Handing me these... I looked at the price ahead of time because I've got this box from the guy for a while now, and all the IEMs in there are like not cheap. So I wasn't gonna like guess like $100. Like it's not. I never even heard of this fucking brand. And where are they from? Hold on. There was a whole story. To the top. They're Indonesian. So there's an Indonesian IEMs. So now we're getting like, and so they don't like you kind of know what. I don't say American IEMs, like West Tones and Shores are very boring. And then there's other companies that break away that, you know, are trying to just do a normal thing. And then there's China, which has every sound under the sun. So I don't know how to sort of put this in my head as an Indonesian IEM. So let's drop it back in for another quick listen. Because that song, let's get harder. Maiden Abyss. Abyss of the Sea, in case you want to listen along. And see, I know this song. I know all of Kevin Penkin's song. If anybody knows how to reach out to Kevin Penkin, I want to send him one of every one of my collabs. So if you let me know in the comments or PM me on Telegram. Because I think Kevin's soundtracks on Eris would make Kevin Penkin cry or come. I don't know, maybe both. I've never done both at the same time. But that's what would happen if you listen to Abyss of the Sea on Eris. But all right, I'm listening to these, right? I have an $850 IEM that I'm just like, and I'm talking over it. I should be here like awestruck with my mouth just gaping. But it's not. I'm back. You know what? That whole song. And it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's just mostly just noises in Abyss of the Sea. I'm actually going to change the tips on this. because I put these weird tips on it, and I don't know what the hell they're from. They got some more Arduino SS tips. These are not my babies, but they're my babies. They're the guaranteed fit babies of the world. You fucker. Anyway, I'm now going to listen to the exact same track, which is a track I've heard many times, and I don't even have any emotional attachment to it. I just know how big and I was going to say lifeless, but the opposite of lifeless. What's that? Alive? How big and alive, and if you know anything about Made in Abyss, you know saying that sound is alive could be a thing. Yeah, this is haunting reality in space, and this is boring. These are boring. The 7th Acoustics fuckers are boring. There was one point I was like, oh, they have a little bit of a treble, like a leaning treble. And then when I swapped tips, that went away. I don't know what those are aiming for. What is their goal? To be the most what? Every product in the world should aim to be a one thing. To be the most. Defiant was aimed to be the most high-end sounding IEM for $100. It's a very obscure, very mild, like gray area, but that's what I did. I needed the thing. Valencia. The most least amp you could have. Just nothing. Which is what that is. Eris. The most bass. Very simple comment. There's one with the most bass. Just happened to have the most comfort in soundstage. Yeah, I feel like I'm churning in the music and the fucking, and this doesn't have to be a Defiant thing. It's not a self-promotion sucking my own dick. For all goddamn day yesterday, I had the Kiwi Ears Astrals on. And I think it's fucked me up. Kiwi Ears Astrals are like perfect and under $400. So now I have to look at this and go, well, you're not perfect and you're too expensive. And they're not perfect and they're too expensive. So I don't know if I can keep going through this playlist and keep going through different amplifier combinations. Maybe I'll turn the robot on. Will you help me, Mr. Robot? Oh, God. I got to review that. Maybe I should review that now. The problem is with him, he doesn't have an optical input or a coaxial digital input. He's only USB and I think Bluetooth. And he's only a 1/4 inch output. Well, I would love to plug right into... Actually... If he had a plug in the front, it would be a girl. If it had a plug in the back, it could be unisex. Anyway, I'm done. What did I talk about? They're boring. They barely make the minimum requirements for me to give a shit. Like if I was in that black room again, trying to decide if like, okay, this is a good enough IM, I want to talk about it. Or this is such a bad IM, I want to talk about it. And this is just, I got to do the price rating thing. 160. I don't even know if I'd give it 160. If it came with this cable, then 200. You know what? 200 because the cable is fucking nice now. But the sound is just meh. It doesn't do anything I haven't heard 100 times and 100 times better in other IMs. So yeah, that's the end of that. So yeah, I'll link to whoever the fuck sells 7th Acoustics, and as always, you can click my collabs link tree in the description to support the channel that way if you don't want to support on Patreon and Subscribe Star. Wallpapers are all in the Waifu Horde on Resilio Sync, so you get every wallpaper I've ever used ever, all at once. You have no options unless you get the advanced version of Resilio Sync where you can pick and choose, but just get them all. It's like 3 gigs. Anyway, I'm done, you're done, we're done. Mousepad. Did I repeat this on this channel? Because I usually go back and forth between... If I just finish a review here in Inner Fetish and I need to make a Z-Reviews review, and the mouse pad's still here, who gives a shit? 2 different channels. It's harder to do my editing when I look down and it's either purple or Catgirl. You'll get it. All right, we're done. Goodbye, Mr. Robot. Take a nap. See you in the next one.